Okay, I think Ginger's left, and whilst I can, I'm just going to quickly read this bit to you. So, just to recap, this is from Dorothy Dunnett's Dolly and the Singing Bird. So what you need to know is Tina Rossi, the opera singer, has just turned up in a flat in Edinburgh for an assignation with her lover, Kenneth, just after midnight as well, but Kenneth is not there. Nerves are not one of my weaknesses, but I did not enjoy that search. Muffled by plastic from underlay, my footsteps made no sound. Only, sometimes, in a room I had just passed, a floorboard would creak, or a door swing in some draft. For all its modern furnishing, the house was quite old. But although I did not like it, I searched that flat thoroughly, and I had my hand on the last door, on the wardrobe door in the hall, when the doorbell at my ear suddenly rang. It was after midnight. In the empty flat, where all of the lights still burned in the tenantless rooms and the fire smouldered low, the noise shrilled with alarm. After a moment's silence, it rang again and went on insistently ringing. At the same moment, under my hand, the door of the hall wardrobe moved of its own accord, pushing against my hand, my arm, my shoulder, and finally falling wide open, while from its depths something dark and heavy and silent suddenly moved. And I stood there and just watched it topple towards me. The person of a slow, cold-eyed, powerful man who followed me onto the carpet, arms flailing, his brute weight flattening even my trained, resilient lungs. I fell with his hair brushing my face and the scrape of his unshaven chin on my cheek, and anger swallowed my fright. I shoved hard. I held him off, and I drew breath to shout to the men who stood on the far side of that yellow front door, whose voices I could hear, and under whose hand the bell was ringing above us both still. I remember all that, and I remember the moment when I looked at my own clenched hand holding off his, and realised that his fingers were limp, his wrist cold, his limbs rubber. When I realised that my cold-eyed attacker was dead. Bye everybody, see you next time.